The story of Moses has been celebrated as a tale of liberation and faith. But what if we explore the doubts and hidden complexities? Join us as we reconsider the life of Moses. Born a Hebrew slave, raised in Pharaoh's palace, Moses stands as a paradox. Is this account genuine? Where's the evidence of a mass exodus? Where are the artifacts and records? While the story is foundational, we must analyze its historical context. There's little support for a large-scale migration, raising questions about its authenticity. The plot thickens after the Exodus. Moses led the Israelites to the Promised Land. Moses, the first Zionist, claimed their ancestral home, but at what cost? The Israelites encountered tribes in Canaan, leading to a violent campaign of destruction and displacement. Biblical texts depict a ruthless takeover, raising moral questions about colonization. Fast forward to the late 19th century. Zionist settlers arrived in Palestine, claiming the land based on historical connections. This mirrors Moses' assertion of the Promised Land, echoing ancient claims in a modern context. Moses' story resonates today. Ancient ideas of land and identity echo in ongoing Middle Eastern disputes. This narrative examines power, heritage, and belonging. Question the narratives justifying land claims and grievances. The story of Moses is more than history. It sparks vital conversations about power and community. Confronting its darker aspects fosters healing and reconciliation. What part will you play in shaping the story of our collective future? Moses' story compels us to confront contemporary realities. His path still resonates, affecting conflict, identity, and heritage. Examining his journey uncovers a narrative of justice and coexistence. Recognize our shared humanity. Narratives are powerful but also divisive. Listening helps us heal. The struggle for identity echoes Moses and the Israelites' challenges. His journey left a legacy of conflict and claims. Analyzing Moses' life informs current land disputes. The legacy of Moses reminds us that history is a tapestry of many voices and shared struggles. Embracing this complexity builds a more inclusive and just narrative for future generations. In exploring history, we shape our collective future. Let's choose understanding over division. Thank you for being part of this discussion. Engage with us in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and join us for more explorations. To understand Moses' legacy, we must delve into his historical context. Ancient Egypt was a land of immense power and complexity. The Hebrews faced daily hardships and oppression. Moses emerged as a leader, guided by a vision of liberation. His leadership challenged the power structures of his time. The Exodus was a profound act of defiance and a quest for freedom. Understanding this context enriches our appreciation of Moses' role. Moses is a towering figure in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. In Judaism, he is the prophet who brought the Torah to Israel. Passover celebrates Moses leading the Hebrews out of Egypt. Christianity views Moses as a precursor to Jesus. His life foreshadows Jesus' mission to liberate humanity. The Ten Commandments are foundational to Christian ethics. In Islam, Moses, or Musa, is a revered prophet. The Quran emphasizes his faith and leadership. Moses symbolizes liberation and justice across cultures. His story inspires movements for social justice and freedom. Moses' legacy transcends religious boundaries, teaching leadership and justice. Reflecting on Moses reminds us of our shared humanity. Join us next time to explore more historical narratives. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. To understand Moses' actions, we must consider the geopolitical landscape of his era. The late Bronze Age, around 1500 to 1200 BCE, was marked by political complexity and upheaval. Major powers like Egypt and the Hittite Empire vied for dominance. Egypt, where Moses was born, was a dominant force. The Exodus had substantial political implications. The Hebrews' departure was a geopolitical event challenging Egyptian hegemony. The collapse of many late Bronze Age civilizations added complexity. Invasions, natural disasters, and economic instability led to the decline of powerful city-states. This power vacuum allowed new groups like the Israelites to establish themselves. Moses' leadership required spiritual, political, and military strategy. His actions were influenced by the need to navigate a dangerous landscape. Understanding the geopolitical context helps us appreciate Moses' leadership and its impact on history. As we delve into the story of Moses and the Exodus, examining the archaeological evidence is essential. The biblical account has intrigued scholars for centuries. The search involves combing through Egypt and the Levant for clues. Excavations have uncovered artifacts and inscriptions. However, direct evidence linking these to the Exodus remains elusive. The Merneptah stele mentions Israel in Canaan, but it does not confirm the Exodus narrative. The quest for understanding the Exodus continues to inspire us. As we transition from the archaeological evidence of the Exodus, it's important to reflect on the enduring legacy of Moses in modern political thought. Moses is not just a figure of ancient history and religious tradition. His story has transcended time to influence contemporary ideologies and political movements. Moses' journey embodies themes of liberation, justice, and leadership. These themes have resonated with various political leaders and movements throughout history. For instance, the concept of a promised land has been a powerful metaphor for numerous liberation struggles, from the African American civil rights movement to anti-colonial efforts around the world. Moses is often cited as an archetype of the revolutionary leader, a figure who stands against oppression and leads his people towards freedom. His story has inspired leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., who invoked the imagery of Moses in his speeches, drawing parallels between the Exodus and the fight for civil rights in America. Moreover, Moses' laws, particularly the Ten Commandments, have influenced the development of legal and ethical frameworks in Western society. The principles of justice, equality, and moral responsibility embedded in these laws continue to shape contemporary legal systems and political ideologies. However, the legacy of Moses is not without controversy. His role in the conquest of Canaan has been interpreted in various ways, sometimes used to justify territorial claims and political actions. This complex legacy invites us to critically examine how historical narratives are employed in modern political contexts. As we consider the impact of Moses on modern political thought, we are reminded of the power of stories to shape our values, actions, and collective identity. The story of Moses challenges us to reflect on the principles of leadership, justice, and freedom that continue to resonate in our world today. Together, let's explore the enduring influence of history on our present and future. Let's delve into the rich tapestry of art and literature where Moses has been immortalized throughout history. From Michelangelo's masterpieces to Dostoevsky's prose, Moses symbolizes faith, liberation, and moral fortitude. Artists and writers explore profound themes through his story. Michelangelo's Moses, with its commanding presence, captures a leader burdened with divine responsibility. Literature, too, embraces Moses as a central figure. Authors like Thomas Mann and Zora Neale Hurston portray Moses as a symbol of resilience and hope. These interpretations invite reflection on universal themes. Join us as we explore Moses' impact on our cultural heritage. Let's uncover the layers of symbolism connecting us to this ancient story. As we explore Moses' legacy, we must confront the controversial campaign in Canaan. This narrative raises ethical questions relevant to modern discussions on morality and justice. The conquest of Canaan involves acts of war and displacement of populations. These actions, justified as divine commands, prompt us to examine their moral complexities. How do these actions align with our modern understanding of justice and human rights? One perspective views Moses' actions through the lens of historical context. In ancient times, conquest and expansion were common. However, this does not absolve the actions from ethical scrutiny. It invites us to reflect on the suffering experienced by those displaced. Another perspective considers the theological implications. The narrative of divine command raises questions about faith and ethics. Can acts of violence be justified if believed to be sanctioned by a higher power? This question remains relevant in contemporary debates on religious extremism. Examining Moses' actions allows us to engage with themes of power, leadership, and responsibility. Leaders throughout history have grappled with moral dilemmas, impacting many lives. Moses' story provides a framework for discussing the ethical responsibilities of leaders. In engaging with these questions, we reflect on our values and principles. The story of Moses challenges us to consider the complexities of leadership. It invites us to learn from the past to create a more just future. Your insights and perspectives are invaluable in this ongoing dialogue. As we transition from examining the ethical implications of Moses' actions in Canaan, we now turn our attention to his role in contemporary religious discourse. Moses is a central figure in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. His story inspires and challenges believers and scholars alike. In Judaism, Moses is revered as Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses our teacher. He led the Israelites out of Egypt and received the Torah at Mount Sinai. His teachings are foundational to Jewish law and identity. In Christianity, Moses is seen as a precursor to Jesus Christ. The Exodus story symbolizes liberation and salvation. In Islam, Moses, known as Musa, is one of the greatest prophets. His perseverance and faith are exemplary virtues. Moses' story is invoked in discussions about faith, leadership, and justice. As a shared figure, he serves as a bridge for understanding among these faiths. Moses' life and teachings have influenced numerous historical figures and movements throughout history. His story symbolizes leadership, liberation, and moral fortitude. Martin Luther King Jr. saw himself as a modern-day Moses, leading his people towards equality and justice. In his "I've Been to the Mountaintop" speech, Dr. King invoked Moses' final moments to inspire hope. Similarly, Mahatma Gandhi admired Moses' commitment to non-violence and justice. Moses' influence extends to social movements advocating for human rights and social justice. His legacy continues to shape our world in profound ways. The Exodus story, recounting the Israelites' escape from Egypt, is central to Jewish, Christian, and Islamic traditions. Scholars and archaeologists debate its historical accuracy due to a lack of concrete evidence. Some point to Egyptian records mentioning the Habiru, possibly the Hebrews, and artifacts in the Sinai Peninsula. Skeptics argue it's a myth created to forge a collective identity. Despite uncertainties, the Exodus story's themes of hope and freedom remain powerful. Thank you for joining us. Subscribe and share your thoughts below. Your engagement helps us explore these fascinating topics.